Every night you want me open it up. Anytime you want me open it up. Tonight, I can't open it up. And when I open it up, I can't open it up. What kind of job you doing? You always can be late. What kind of place you working? You always can be late. So darling, for I can't open it up. I'm sorry for you, I will never open it up. Every night you want me open it up. Every time you want me open it up. Day and night you just knocking it up. Oh baby, who need you your bosses love so much? I see. Now I know. I will not open it up. I can't open that door. If you want to break it, go ahead and break it. If you want to spoil it, go ahead and spoil it. I can't open that door. You got my melody, I will not open it up. If you got my melody, I can't open that door. I will not open it up. I will not open it up.
Hey, darling, please listen to me. I had a lot of work to do at my office. This is why I'm coming home late. I also have to drop my boss man home. This is why I'm coming home late. In fact, there was so much traffic. Red light traffic, Freeport traffic, Baton traffic. This is why I'm coming home so late. Please, I beg you, open the door. I love
you. Everything you telling me, I can't open that door. I will not open it up. Baton traffic, Lokitan traffic, Nikutan traffic. I can't open it up. I will not open it up. If you come my melody, I can't open it up. I will not open it up.
Because it's me tonight, you don't want to open the door. You are there preaching like the preacher's wife. You can remember the other day you went to plait your hair, you never returned after 2 o'clock in the night. You went to face your nails down the road, you stayed there the whole day, you keep at 6 o'clock in the evening. What a problem? You went to carry your friend halfway, you stayed there at 6 o'clock in the morning before you came home. You went for a wedding meeting the other day, you came at 2 o'clock in the night. Remember, what goes around comes around. Now the 9 days for roll, 1 day for the master. They see rope that him monkey, can also him baboon. They can also him help you. But I beg you, open the door, Frank inside.
This morning I just said, why you talking all the things here? I will open the door. I just don't want you to sit outside. That's why I'm going to open the door. Kaisa.
Communication becomes convenient, enjoyable, and cheaper when you have the best application in your hand. D-Pro Global Social Media app gives you access to free global communication and networking. With the D-Pro Global Social Media app, you can do live video chat, live audio calling, live text messaging, live group video and audio conferencing. Not only that, you also do fast sharing, creating and posting to your story, post engagement with emojis, and more. The D-Pro Global Social Media app does in-app purchases, in-app searching, storytelling. The app also allows you to create video, audio, text, and internet link posting. Get the best app today with 100% data security and end-to-end encryption. Add customization and privacy settings to the Depro Global Social Media app and enjoy 24/7 endless communication. Download the Depro Global Social Media app on Google Play Store and Apple Store and enjoy endless communication. Visit our website on www.dpro-idb.com or email us at info@dpro-idb.com. Depro Global Social Media app, making communication easier. Made with ginger, coconut water, natural juice flavor, vitamins and minerals is Muncie Power Drink. Muncie Power Drink helps reduce high blood pressure, get rid of toxins, help improve children and adult memory. It also helps the body fight effects of excess sugar. Muncie Power Drink has no added sugar, no artificial flavors, and all natural ingredients. It is a healthy drink for just everybody. It has 4 natural juice flavors: pineapple, mango, strawberry, and turmeric. For wholesale or retail purchase, visit major supermarkets across Monrovia and its environs. If you are outside Monrovia, you can do your purchase at Kakata Supermarket and Ataro Business Center in Ganta. You can also visit our store on the Old Road, right next to the American School. For more information, call us on 0770 307 572 or 0776 580-730. Muncie Power Drink, not just your regular energy drink. Do you care to know why thousands of people have switched from using oil-bomb paint to using Une Zize quality paint? Zize quality paint is a high-quality American non-hazard latex paint that doesn't fade or peel off your walls when applied. Zize quality paint comes in variety of colors that you can choose from. We even customize our customers' paint based on their request just to satisfy their desire. Stop by at any of our 3 branches at Police Academy Junction opposite NP Fueling Station, Baptist Seminary opposite Highway Gas Station, and St. Paul Bridge opposite Marco Plaza. Zize quality paint can be used for both interior and exterior painting works. Customers living overseas can pay through Zelle on 217-720-8858. You can contact us via cell numbers 0777-366-142 or 0770-496-273 or +121-772-08858. Think Zize, think quality.
Spicing up, what's next?
Allen Bernard International, or ABR, is a management consulting firm with a team of consultants and associates who focus on growing and transforming home healthcare agencies, nonprofits, and small businesses in other industries as well as individuals. Our services include ABR Business Support Services, ABR Accounting and Tax Services, and ABR Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Services. At ABR, we bring to each assignment dedication and commitment, experience and skills, performance-based process, integrated solution teams, and client relations. For more inquiries on our services, call phone number 469-378-3955. That's Allen Bernard International, or ABR, transforming business through ideas.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belter, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as $500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on the UN Drive at Sailtown, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends where you are. But from where we sit, it is 5:30 in the morning here in beautiful Bear, Delaware, on the eastern seaboard of the United States of America. In Liberia, it is 10:30 a.m. and Bwakai Kamara is our co-host there in the studio. Bwakai, good morning to you.
Good morning, Costa, and good morning to our many listeners. It's good to be here this morning.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you as well. I just read something that has me laughing. Okay. All right, it's wonderful. Today is the 16th day of February 2023, and we're glad to be here. Okay, what's going on? What's the news in town?
Well, nothing much this morning. Sorry, my eyes cannot give me a little problem this morning.
Yeah, I just noticed. Noticed that. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
There's an issue. There's an issue coming up at the Roberts International Airport, an emerging situation at the Roberts International Airport. And it was brought to my attention yesterday. You remember the company we were talking about that should have taken over a certain portion of the RIA, that's NAS, the National Aviation Service from I think the United Arab Emirates.
I think they're based in Qatar or the UAE, one of those places. Yeah, NAS. Yeah, they awarded them ground handling operations of the airport.
Yeah, a fleet management.
Fleet management, aviation maintenance.
Yes.
Something else. 3 separate operations were awarded to them. Yes, they were supposed to have taken over on the 1st of January 2022. Yeah. So what's up with them?
Yeah. But then the government told them to officially take over on the 5th of February, which is this month. But while taking over, they are planning to lay off close to, I can say, 100 plus Liberians at the Roberts International Airport. Yep. So for the passenger service division, they are laying off 34 persons. And the fleet management, they will be laying off close to 20%. But now here's the sticker issue at the Roberts International Airport. The government is telling them that, oh, we are approaching elections. And if you lay these people off now, it becomes serious problem for us or our re-election process. So what we want you to do is to hold on from now till October. When we win the elections, then you can go ahead and do anything you wish to do now at the airport. But remember, all of those that are working with the Roberts International Airport signed a 25 years agreement with the RIA, the employees. So now the contract that the government signed with NAS, they don't know what's in the contract. The employees don't know what's in the contract between the government of Liberia and NAS. So now NAS is telling the government that we have to bring our own employees in because they are bringing people from the United Arab Emirates or Dubai and other places. They have to bring their own employee to work along with them. They don't want to use the Liberians that are there now. So that's the sticky issue. The government said, no, we can't allow you to take over now. Because if you take over, the votes that we should get from those that are working and their family, we will not get that amount of votes. So that's a sticky issue. And this thing from now to next week, you hear the same noise. You can remember the guys when they lie down under the aircraft and stop the aircraft from picking up like they when McGill when they 13 them. So that's the same thing that is emerging now at the airport.
It was quite an embarrassing situation for the country. It was in violation of ICAO, what do you call it, ICAO, or the International Civil Aviation Organization, against their rules, which border on safety, especially passenger safety, aircraft safety. The aircraft was essentially hijacked. They were stopped from taking off. It was wrong. We spoke about it that time. And some of our people didn't understand, but you cannot prevent an aircraft, especially an international airliner, from taking over. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. But then again, the government did not ensure that the workers who are currently in the employ of the Liberia Airport Authority, specifically the Roberts International Airport, were taking into account their interests, their welfare.
Yeah.
These people were not contractors. They were full-time, full-fledged employees of the airport. You sign a deal with a company, you give them 3 different operations, 3 separate distinct operations at the airport: passenger services, aviation maintenance, or aircraft maintenance, and what's the other one name? Baggage handling, something like that.
Fleet management, yeah.
Fleet management, thank you. And so the new company would then have to incorporate. They inherit the staff, the employees in those 3 different sectors of the airport. You have to have their severance benefits ready. If you want to lay them off, you may lay them off, but you must be able to provide them their legitimate, just severance benefits. That's the law.
Yeah.
You cannot just tell someone who's been working there for years to go home and you hire new people. And then what they did to the people is that the new management said to them in the beginning, we want you to sign a new contract with us. Those of you who we will keep, those of you who we would not keep, we're not going to keep you. We have nothing for you. The folks tried to get to the government, the management, to tell them, what is our status? They would not say anything. That is what triggered that protest. That was very embarrassing for us. Now, the situation is brewing again. The airport, like many government agencies or entities, is overstaffed. They've got too many people at the airport. The wage bill at the airport has ballooned since this government came to power. It ballooned. Someone said to me it used to be around $150,000 to $200,000 a month. It went up to almost $300,000-$400,000 a month. That's too much money. The airport does not generate that much money to be able to afford to pay all of those people. That's why the airport barely has money to have to maintain the generators, to maintain the equipment at the airport, the facilities at the airport, because it spends too much money on salaries alone, which is not productive. Another issue is this. When the CDC came to power, they flooded almost every government entity with their folks.
Yeah.
They took people everywhere. Mama Malu was just writing letters and to government officials and basically commanding them to hire citizens, most of whom were not qualified. That's what they did. Now they have the problem. They are beset with huge with a huge wage bill. Too many people. Now this company, NAS, that took over, they manage a couple of airports around in other places. So listen, they are not going to come here and take an airport with so many people and basically just be running the operations to pay people. They're not going to do that. They are a business. They want to make a profit. You have to understand that. Now, but the government has to be considerate of its people's interest. The government had to ensure, they must have ensured that they fund the money to lay those people off that they knew the airport, the new management would want to lay off. They should have found the money. But they didn't do that. They didn't take the interest of the people into account. They did not do that. They simply proceeded to close a deal with NAS, and they left the people at the mercy of NAS. And NAS is saying, we're not going to hire all of you. You're too many.
Too many?
Yeah. There are too many people at the airport. And you can't blame the company. This is what happens, Bwagai, when you outsource a state-run entity to a private company. Because a private company, or you outsource parts of that operation of that entity to a private firm. The private firm has one primary objective: to make profits. They want to make money. And they can't make money when they have all these people who are doing nothing. And so that is the problem there. So do not be surprised if another crisis erupts. If another crisis erupts at the airport where perhaps they hijack another plane, I hope they do not do that because it's bad for the country. You do not hijack a plane. And what they did was tantamount to hijacking. They prevented the aircraft from taking off. And so while we advocate for the interests of our people, we also plead with them that they should not do what they did in the past, hijacking a plane, because that affects the entire country.
Costa, another point, their job is at risk because the government telling the company that, you're just wait up until after the 2023 elections.
Yes, because the government only sees them as one thing: voters.
Yeah.
That is what and how the government sees them. You're nothing but voters. We need those votes. We cannot afford to aggravate those people. Don't fire them yet until after the elections. Once they voted for us, you may do whatever it is you want to do to them. Yeah, that's the interest of the government. Don't fire them yet. Hold on until we've won re-election, God forbid, which will never happen. And once we've won, you may do whatever you want to do to them. So I hope the people at the airport, I hope you remember this. If you do not get laid off this time by NAS, just know that the reason you didn't get laid off is because the government has pleaded with them to not lay you off just yet until you have voted for them. That is, if you vote for them. Somebody say, my man, I know you want to kick that man up, but don't kick him out yet. Just wait on there and you can go vote for me. After you vote for me, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. I want to say this. I see a comment here from a guy called Billy Bingba. Billy Bingba, you see, let me tell you something. Just because you did not follow our discussion when we talk about the latest update in the Stanton Wetherspoon case does not mean we didn't talk about it. So don't come here and talk as though you know for a fact that we have not updated the public on the current status of the Stanton Wetherspoon case, because we have. We talked about it days ago. Stanton appeared in court on the 9th, and he pleaded not guilty, and he's prepared to go to trial. We talked about it. We talked about the terms of his bond. We talked about the fact that he cannot travel outside of the city of Camden and the city of Fort Lauderdale without the expressed written consent of the court. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that he is mandated to go and get hired and maintain a full-time job, not in the healthcare sector, but in any other sector. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that he's ordered to not sell or liquidate any properties that he owns. We talked about that. You were not here. And you come here and you speak as though you know for a fact that we did not talk about it.
Oh, probably he has other information that we don't have.
So when you come, you ask, say, Costa, can you please talk about it? Or Costa, can you please tell us the update? That is what you do. You do not come and assume that you know for a fact that we did not talk about it. It's very annoying. But I will indulge you and I will inform you and I will educate you. So we've talked about the Stanton Weatherspoon case. The case goes to trial. Mr. Weatherspoon believes that he can win the case. He pleaded not guilty. He's going to go to trial. It will take several months before the trial is concluded. Several months. Yeah. So, Mr. Belekbingba, have you heard enough? Do I need to regurgitate what I just said? All right. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to something else. Okay. Since we have already, yeah, some people are saying you don't want to be Henry Costa. So, okay, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, the big headline from his Africa. Councillor Gonglo has said that he has not been approached by either Mr. Boakai or Mr. Cummins with the offer to be tapped as their vice standard bearer or their running mate. And he, in his article, which is published today in Front Page Africa, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo talks about a conversation. He goes on to say, quote, these are Councillor Tiawan Gonglo's words. I heard people saying that they want me to go as running mate. Henry Costa in 2019 started harboring this idea that the only way George Weah can be defeated is for the opposition to hold together or form a collaboration. It has stuck in people's minds. And how people are saying, and now people are saying, with collaboration, there will be no opposition. I have not been directly requested to serve as running mate yet, but we will listen to any discussion that comes. Okay. What do you make of that? And yes, 2019, I did have a conversation of that nature with Councillor Gonglo, and I must have publicly also intimated that point. But what do you make of Councillor Gonglo saying that nobody has so far approached him with the offer to be their running mate?
And I think people should start because he can serve as a good running mate to anybody in Liberia.
Yeah, but that is your view, and I don't disagree with your view at all. But the key point is that the key question I'm asking you is that why do you think nobody has approached him with that offer? We're hearing people talking to other people, you know. I mean, we're hearing people are talking to the common scammers in talks with Jeremiah Kung. We're hearing all kinds of talks, but why do you think no one has approached Councillor Tiawan Gonglo? That is actually my question.
Probably they are underestimating him, his strength in our body politics. That's the first thing.
Why do you think that would be the case, boy? That's where you come in. You come in there. Why do you think that is the case?
They think he don't have.
Proceed.
They think he don't have what it takes to serve as the vice.
No, Baga, you can assume that. You can assume that.
But what I'm saying, Costa, is they think he's only well known in Nimba County, and Nimba is a vote-rich county that everybody will want to get votes from. So he just coming into the political arena. We have Prince Johnson in Nimba, we have Jeremiah Kun in Nimba. So now the guys have to be skeptical in how they go about doing their selections, because we have other big counties that are putting up the number. We have the Bond County and other places. So you have to be very strategic in who you select as a running mate to you. So the issue about Tiawan Gonglo is a very clean man. It's a very good guy to serve as running mate to anybody. But I just don't see why people are approaching him. I just don't know why they are still not approaching him. If he's open up to discussion to other people, I think they should approach him. Even if you don't want for him to go as vice to you, but you should approach him to be part of your team. I think that's what should happen.
Well, you do have a point. You do have a point. But you see, Buaka, I will say this to you. Most presidential candidates, listen to me, and listen to me well. Most presidential candidates, when they're running for president, when people are running for president, and that person feels very confident in his skin that he does have his chances are good, his prospects are good. They're not comfortable with a running mate that is very assertive, a running mate that seems to be very very independent-minded, a running mate that would try to outshine, or a running mate that would overly assert himself. They often find a running mate that would be quiet, be humble, and be in the shadows. Okay. Let me say this to you. Most presidential candidates want a benign, humble, and laid back running mate. They're not comfortable with a running mate who seems to be too strong in terms of asserting himself. And they're not comfortable with that. They don't want such a running mate. Because eventually, even when they win, they want a vice president to not try to steal the show from the president. So if you are considering, Councillor Gonglo is a very Councillor Gonglo is a very good man. He's a man that I have a lot of respect for, a lot of admiration for. We have a fantastic relationship. Of course, you heard him mentioning me in our article, that interview with Front Page Africa. But I think, and I might be wrong, Councillor Gonglo is not going to be a typical timid and sheepish running mate. He's not going to be the guy that you can expect to be quiet. You can expect to stay in the shadows, to not exert himself. And because of that, it makes it difficult for people to consider him, because, hey, this guy is tough, and he's got his own well-formed philosophy or ideology on what he... Because when you are a running mate to someone, Black Eye, you essentially abandon everything you personally want to do, and it is the president's agenda that you pursue. It is the president's agenda that you inherit. It is not your own agenda. And you begin to speak in terms of the president's own stated or articulated philosophy. So a guy like Councillor Gonglo, it makes, like, let me give you an example, right? Some men are not comfortable with strong women. They're not comfortable with independent women, women who make their own money, women who assert themselves, women who are well-educated, sophisticated women, classy women. A lot of men are intimidated by such women. They cut across every society, every culture. So that's why you often hear they say women who are very educated, very accomplished, very successful, oftentimes struggle to settle down with men, especially because, it's difficult to find men who would be comfortable and who would be confident in their skin to be with such a woman. A lot of men are insecure with such women. So, I'm saying this to say, I'm trying to draw a parallel here. The parallel I'm drawing here is that you have here in Tiawan Gonglo a very strong gentleman, and a lot of people would be uncomfortable. This guy's very tough. He's like, no, Black, listen to me. Sure. Open your mind and listen to me. Don't you know a lot of men are afraid, are intimidated by women who are very well accomplished? I know. Of course. And so I'm saying I could be wrong. My theory could be wrong, but that is the theory that I currently hold. That Councillor Gonglo, the reason nobody has approached him and offered him to be or engaged or initiate a conversation to carry him as their running mate is perhaps because Councillor Gonglo seems to be someone who would not be timid, someone who would not be told to sit in one corner and be quiet. Okay, because so people are insecure with a strong running mate. But you may come in now, Black.
Okay, now for me, I disagree with you on that particular case.
You may very well do that, and I respect your disagreement. And I respectfully disagree with your disagreement.
Okay, so why I disagree with you is that you saying that he's too strong and people don't want to have somebody that is too strong.
I'm saying perhaps we are speaking here analytically. We might not be right. Our theory might not be right, but you and I both, we're not speaking based on facts. It is what we think. It's our opinion. That's what makes us political commentators. Proceed.
Okay, so you say my thing is that if Tier 1 is approached by anybody, for now, Tier 1 is selling himself. You don't expect him to sit quietly and don't talk about himself. He have to make the Liberian people know who is this Tier 1 Gongolo. And before you make the Liberian people know who is this Tier 1 Gongolo, you have to blow your own trumpet. So blow your own trumpet, you have to make yourself powerful that other people will see you and say, yes, there's a guy that I want to work with. So if he's been approached by somebody to contest with them, to go advice to them, you will no longer see that posture of Tier 1 Gongolo. You will see let me conclude, then you'll come in. You will see another posture of Tier 1 Gongolo that will be saying that this is our presidential candidate and we should support this man, even though I'm running advice to this man.
You did not understand my point at all, Black Guy. You did not understand my point. You see, you are not understanding me, Black Guy. You are not understanding me. I am the politician here. I have been involved with presidential campaigns from Winston Tubman in 2011 to Benana Uri in 2017. I know how running mates are. People make the decision on when it comes to running mates. You're not understanding. I'm not saying right now Tier 1 should not be selling himself. That's exactly what he should be doing. But I'm talking about the intrinsic character of Tier 1 Gongolo. Tier 1 Gongolo is someone who cannot easily be. Look, let me tell you, most presidential candidates try to find teammate running mates that are not ambitious. Look, let me tell you, it is not how he projects himself now. It is how it is the character Tier 1 Gongolo is. Tier 1 Gongolo is a strong man. Tier 1 Gongolo is strong-willed. And people like Tier 1 Gongolo, it is difficult for you to put them in a little corner and say, sit down and humble yourself. No, it is difficult. You have to follow his history. Tier 1 Gongolo works for the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. The first job he held was Solicitor General, the government's chief prosecutor. We saw what Tier 1 did. There were many times Tier 1 Gongolo openly disagreed with the government on several cases and never pursued them. Is that a good thing? That is a fantastic thing. That is something that we don't often see in our country. But that made a lot of people uncomfortable. It made a lot of people uncomfortable in the government. What kind of government lawyer would tell the people that this case, we shouldn't take it to court because we're not going to win? What kind of government lawyer would say to the people, I'm not going to prosecute this case as senior prosecutor or chief prosecutor for the government because I do not believe that this case has merit. I do not believe that this case is winnable. That is something people are not used to. People are unused to that sort of thing. So you are missing the point. The point you're missing, I'm not saying Tier 1 should not assert himself now that he's running for president. He should do that and he should do more than that. But the point I'm making is that the intrinsic character of Tier 1, a tough, assertive man. You saw what Tier 1 did, how he resigned from the Ellen government. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable with Tier 1. Not uncomfortable with him because it is his fault, but because it's who he is. And in our culture, people are uncomfortable with strong, assertive people. The same way people are uncomfortable with us when it comes to so many things. So that is why a lot of people be like, okay, Tier 1 is a good guy, Tier 1 is this, Tier 1 is that, but can we control Tier 1? Can Tier 1 be a team player? You don't understand, Picking. All the yama. Look, let me tell you something. The ordinary voters don't understand what the politicians discuss in those rooms. I've been in many of those rooms. I've been there, Brian. I've been in those conversations. When the people talk, they want people, my man, the big man syndrome in Liberia. When you and the big man, you can be the chief of staff to the big man, you can be the chairman, whatever. When you and your boss go to a meeting, you are expected to say very little or keep quiet completely. The big man alone talks. It is our culture. It is a bad culture. That's the point I'm trying to make. The big man is the one who is supposed to say everything, and you are supposed to sit there and just keep quiet. Anything your chief says, yes, a chief is good. You're not supposed to say a word. You're not supposed to contribute. If your boss is even forgetting to chime in to say something, you're not even supposed to say it. The best you can do is to go and tell him, Chief, you forgot to mention this point, or you should mention this point. That is the way our culture is. So people look at Tier 1 and say, this guy resigned from the Ellen government. He bashed Ellen publicly. And do you think the guy is a team player? That is the thing with Liberian politics. The public will see one thing, but they don't understand what happens in the political discussions. They don't know the things that influence such decisions. So if you see people are not approaching Tier 1 Gongolo, That is because they're wondering whether he can be a good team player. They're wondering whether he will not try to over-assert himself. Let me tell you something. I know what I'm saying. I've been in this game. I understand this game. Okay? I've been in this game for many years now. So that does not mean Tewan is a bad person. Tewan Gongolo is a fantastic gentleman. But okay, it is about the boss always wants to be in charge. You see the 48 law of power? One of the laws that says never outshine your boss. Never outshine your boss. So I've said what I've said. You may say what you want to say now, but I've said what I said.
And for me, I think if any presidential candidate that want the best for the country and think that they can fight for the Liberian people, fight for justice, and get a good government, I think they should include Tiawan Gongolo on their team.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Tiawan is a tough guy.
Yeah.
Tiawan has great integrity. As vice president, how much difference do you think Tiawan Gongolo would be able to make? As vice president or as Minister of Justice or Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? How much impact do you think Tiawan would make as Minister of Justice versus vice president? Which role do you think Tiawan would make the most impact in? Which role? Vice president or Minister of Justice?
I think he'd be good for the Ministry of Justice.
Good. And tell me why.
Because he stands for integrity.
Thank you. So, as Minister of Justice or Chief Justice, if the position for Chief Justice opens up and Tiawan meets the age requirement, because on the issue of competence and qualification and integrity, he meets all of those easily, hands down. Now, Tiawan Gongolo as Minister of Justice under a Joe Bwaga government administration, a Joe Bwaga who is a man of integrity, and Tiawan Gongolo is a man of integrity, and Tiawan Gongolo has the Ministry of Justice to prosecute. Imagine the kind of impact Tiawan Gongolo would have. Now we're just thinking aloud. We're just thinking aloud. We're not proposing this. We're just thinking aloud. So I'm saying, in a role that Tiawan would have real power, because the vice president has no real power. The vice president has no real power. In a role that Tiawan would have real power, real executive powers, Tiawan would be able to do much more good for the country than in a ceremonial vice presidential role. The vice presidential position is ceremonial. You just sit there. You really do nothing. You do nothing unless the president tells you to do what to do. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Tiawan will round people up. He would investigate people. He will have them prosecuted. But again, okay, that Cummings would jump over a Tiawan Gongolo to go and initiate talks with a Jeremiah Kung. Well, that tells you a lot. And I'm not trying to try to talk my man Jeremiah Kung. Jeremiah Kung is a cool dude. I spoke with him the last time I was in Liberia. He called me. I was surprised. Hey, my brother, how are you? I said, who is this? He said, this is Jeremiah Kung. He didn't even say Senator Jeremiah Kung. I think that was rather humble of him. And he said, my man, I just called to welcome you home. And that was very nice of him. Very nice of him. So Jeremiah Kung is a young man like myself. He comes from a very humble background. The story of Jeremiah Kung used to be a small businessman. He worked his way up doing business in Ganta, and he sent himself to school to Cotton University, and then he joined Prince Johnson's party, became representative. Now he's senator. But the issue I'm making is that look, they say luck pass fine. Okay, listen to this. Luck pass fine. When Liberian man says luck pass fine, what does it mean? You may be fine, but the other guys, you're not fine like you, but you're lucky past you. So you see, when these decisions are not made based on competence and based on qualification, no, they're not based on that. They're based, a whole number of factors go into why people pick their vice president. I'm telling you. Look, this is politics. Let me give an example. Barack Obama, a young man from Illinois, a rookie senator. He had only been in the Senate for 4 years. In 2008, he threw a hat in the race. He ran for president. People were surprised. Obama burst onto the national scene in 2004 at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, where they have John Kerry. John Kerry that election year, was the candidate of the Democratic Party. And Obama delivered a speech, a 5-minute speech. That speech is what made Barack Obama president. That one speech. Obama mesmerized the people with his great oratorical prowess. It is that one speech that made Barack Obama president of these United States of America. And 2004, 2008, Obama threw his hat in the race, and Joe Biden ran in that particular election in the Democratic Party. He was in the primary. They went all over the place. Biden did very, very poorly, and Biden dropped out. Biden had been in the U.S. Senate for decades. He had already been in the Senate, I think, for 35 years or 34 years. Imagine a 35-year Senate veteran. Biden was chairman on the powerful Senate Foreign Affairs Committee. He was chairman on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Biden was a very powerful man. Obama was nothing compared to Biden. But guess what? I can listen to this and listen to this well. This African-American boy with a smooth silvery tongue, charismatic, good-looking, great swag, bedazzled the American public with a great speech that struck a chord. It just made them fuzzy inside. It made them wobbly. And it just mesmerized them and captivated them. And Barack Obama, yes, 38 years. He had actually been in the Senate for 38 years. And Obama had only been in the Senate for 4 years. The boy, he used to like to call himself, the skinny boy with a funny name, had only been in the Senate for 4 years, and he clinched the domination over a veteran like Joe Biden. And you know what he did? When it came time to pick his running mate, you know what Obama did? Obama said, I have very little experience. I have absolutely no executive experience. I've never managed any state or anywhere ever. Nothing at all. Who am I going to pick to be my running mate? Because there are those who will be saying, he doesn't have experience. He doesn't have experience. Obama didn't have any experience. He had been in the U.S. Senate for only 4 years. Zero executive experience. He didn't come from corporate America. Zero experience from there either. So you know who he picked? He went for the veteran Senator Joe Biden, a man who is his elder by many, many years. Biden is, I believe, 20 years or so older than Barack Obama. Biden is 20 years older than Obama. Just turned 60 last year. Biden, on the other hand, is 80 years old. He's 20 years older than this boy. Also, guess what? Biden was Obama's senior in the Senate. But when Barack Obama approached Joe Biden and said, I want you to be my running mate, guess what? Do you know why he wanted Biden as his running mate, Walker?
No.
Here is why. Obama knew that he had to complement the ticket. Obama didn't have experience, no executive experience, very little public service experience. He wanted a veteran, someone who had real many decades of experience, almost 4 decades in government. He went to somebody who was a foreign policy guru. Biden was already, they had been chairman on the powerful Foreign Affairs Committee in the Senate. He wanted somebody with that experience because he knew what he lacked in himself as the front runner, as the candidate. He wanted a running mate who would bring that to the table. So he went for an elderly man with experience that Obama himself, did not have. Now, when he asked Biden to be his running mate, there were those who were like, who is this small boy asking Biden to be his running mate? But this small boy had just won the Democratic nomination. Hello, he was the black man to win the nomination of the Democratic Party. He was running for president. And so he went to his senior, his boss, more or less, in the Senate and said, Papa, come be my running mate. In Africa, people will be there. They bought frisky. Who are you to go ask the man who older than you, who can be your pa? You asking somebody who can be your pa, the man who is your senior in the Senate, you asking him to be your running mate. But you know what Joe Biden did? Joe Biden was humble. Joe Biden is president today because he agreed to be Barack Obama's running mate. That is why Joe Biden is president. If Joe Biden had refused to go as Barack Obama's running mate, Joe Biden would not be president. Sometimes, Bwaka, it is not about age. It is not about anything. It's about grace. Some people have special grace that you do not have. They may not have the experience you have. They may not have the education you have. They may not have the wealth you have, but they may have special grace. Barack Obama made Joe Biden president. You go. Barack Obama did that because he picked him as his running mate. The elderly papa with almost 4 decades of experience in the Senate humbled himself and became running mate to a small boy with 4 years of experience in the Senate. And that is why he is president today. So the moral of the story is this. Do not think that because you are older or you are wiser or you're more experienced or you're wealthier or more educated that it should be you. Do not think that. And this goes to all of us in life. Sometimes you have to you have to humble yourself. Now, let me tell you something. There's another thing about Barack Obama that you need to understand. There were people who said Obama should give way to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton ran in that 2008 primary. She also lost to Barack Obama. Many people felt that Hillary Clinton should run. And that Barack Obama should go and sit down for Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton was more experienced. Hillary Clinton had already been senator of the state of New York. Hillary Clinton was first lady. Hillary Clinton was this. Hillary Clinton was that. Barack Obama was none of those things. But guess what? The American public didn't care whether Barack Obama had the experience Joe Biden had. They didn't care whether Barack Obama had the experience and exposure that Hillary Clinton had. They went for the guy who made them feel good. They went for the guy who made the powerful speeches. They went for the good-looking guy. That is what I am talking about. Now, in life, also, why I say you should be humble. Do not defeat yourself and say, I am too young. I am too inexperienced. I am not as educated. I don't have as much money. If you believe in yourself and you believe you can, do not self-defeat. Do not tell yourself no. You should know when to be humble, and being humble doesn't mean you should not be ambitious. You can be ambitious, but you should also be humble. Humble yourself, but do not. So the two can go together. Humility and ambition can both go together. You can be humble, but you should be ambitious. If Obama had listened to those who said to him, you're a rookie senator, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and those other people have been around much longer. Do not challenge them. Obama would not have become president. Obama would not have become president had he listened to those people who told him, you're young, you just came to the Senate, give yourself enough time, stay here for much longer. Obama would not have become president had he listened to them. But are you understanding the point I'm making?
Sure, I'm following.
The point I'm making is that be humble, but be ambitious. Be humble, be ambitious. Do not let people tell you, oh, you know, picking you small ball, or you this, you that, but also know when it is your time. Know when it is your time. Believe in yourself, but know when it is your time. But don't let anybody tell you to suppress your ambition for somebody else just because they believe that person is better than you. Obama would not have become president had he listened to those who told him that he was too young, that he had no executive governance experience, that he had only been in the Senate for 4 years. But at the same time, to lead, you must follow. You must be willing to follow other people before you lead. You must be willing to follow other people. Today we follow people. Today we follow people. and other people follow us. We follow Joe Boakai, we follow Bernard Ure, we follow people. Those are our leaders. Bernard Ure and Joe Boakai. Those are our leaders. We follow them. So that one day we too may lead. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. I'm forgetting what scripture that is, but I know what the scripture says. Study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. You're coming, Boakai.
Well, like you said, you shouldn't hide your ambition for other people, and that's it.
No, no, that was not exactly what I said. Sometimes you should hide your ambition. Let me tell you. Oh yeah, until you are ready. Sometimes you should, from certain people, but not from certain people. But Boakai, I said, be humble. Know when it is your time. And in order to lead, you must follow. In order to lead, you must follow. That's what I said. Yeah.
In order to lead, you should follow.
Follow other people. Learn from them. Nobody is born with the gift. But anyway, let's go to the lines. We want to interact with our people. Let's open the phone lines and take some calls there. Today, we want to give you the opportunity to just tell us exactly what it is on your mind, what's bothering you. Let's talk about that.
All right, so for
2 chapter 2, verse 15, study to show thyself approved. That is the scripture. Thank you so much. My sister, I see my dear friend here, Rose. Rose, thank you for quoting that, for stating the scripture. My friend and brother, Dr. John Boo. Thank you. Olivia Anderson, thank you very much. Yeah, Joshua Bestman, thank you. Study to show thyself approved. And to lead, you must follow. You must follow before you can lead. Always remember that. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. No matter how big your grace is, how big your favor is, humble yourself. Remember that. Always humble yourself.
So people, you see now people are bringing in different topic.
No, we're not going to entertain that conversation. They have the right to say whatever they want to say, but let's go to the phone lines and let's talk to our people.
No, but it's good for discussion though.
Well, no, let the people have let the people have their discussion. Well, let's go to the phone lines and let our people talk. What's on your mind this morning? Let's hear you. Anything, absolutely anything that's on your mind. We would like to hear it.
So I'm gonna say what's on my mind before we go to the callers.
No, except Boakai. And except Boakai.
0770102102860100383 55102 the WhatsApp number is +231 8624171. Let's take this person. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Costa, calling from United Kingdom. Costa, I'm concerned about the war crime court. The reason why is because since Eileen took over, she made it political with all this introduction of TRC, and then George Weah now does not even know where he stands. Kumi said it's a process. Do you think when Boakai gets there, he could decide that Liberians should have a referendum and give them that power according to Article 1 to vote for having the war crime court? Because in United Kingdom here, there was an issue of Brexit, whether UK should come out or not, and the politicians were having this clash of interest till the Prime Minister told them that the people should have referendum, and that is what we had. And some people, majority said we should come out of the EU. Can Boakai do the same thing with the Liberian citizen?
All right, thank you. Let's take another person here. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, your name is joining us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from New Jersey. This is the Yuga.
Welcome.
Okay. Leader was talking about Chenwa Gonglo, it seems that Leader and I get the same mind. Chenwa is good in our service as a justice minister or chief justice. If you really want to set a government, because this man, he knows the law. And so that would be the era that, the Liberian people would want for him to be, because he's going to put things right.
Okay.
So I think I agree with leader.
Thank you so much. Now take another person here. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, please listen to me through your phone. There's a little delay. Hello.
Yeah. Listening to you.
Okay, go ahead. You're live. Your name, where you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Raw Island. I just want to say something this morning. If what Costa said, and people are trying to equate that to the situation in Liberia between Joe and Tommy, is completely different. You have an old man who has everything it takes to be a president, and you have a corporate executive who has nothing. So it's completely opposite. He can come and learn on a Boakai. Boakai could be a pathway to the president. In America, Barra had everything. He had a crowd. He was a handsome black man. He was articulate. He had everything. On the other side, Joe Biden had wisdom. So he took him. So through that, he became president. But I see some people thinking, Boakai must go to come in. Hell no. Boakai can be vice president for 27 years. He got everything. We're all coming, he can be president. But we're all Boakai coming, he can never be president.
Thank you so much. Now we'll take another person. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, I just like to say that this.
Hello?
It's not exactly fair to say that we're all Boakai. Cummings can never be president. It's not fair to say that, because nobody's destiny is tied to anybody. If Cummings does not become president, it is because it is not meant to be. But it's not going to be because if Boakai doesn't help him. No, you can't. I mean, yeah, some people's destinies are tied to others, but to make it look like the only way that Cummings can be president is through Joe Boakai. No, I don't agree with that, because Cummings is a man in his own right. What God for him, it will happen. They say, seeking for fair, what for you shall see your face.
Let's go.
So you will not see your face.
Good morning.
Yeah, people, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Boakai. Good morning. Slicky Kumala here from Syracuse, New York. I want to speak to what Costa was saying. Costa, you have said it all this morning. And what I can think of is Liberia. Liberia is all that we have. When you were talking about Joe Biden and Obama, it refreshed my mind back in 2004 when I was sitting in my living room in Pendle, Pennsylvania, when this guy was speaking that night. You're 100% right. If we want to look at that in our Liberia context today, Joe Biden was of more experienced guy than Obama, yet he accepted to serve under a person who he had more experience than. In our Liberian context today, we have somebody who people claim to be the most richest person than Ome Boakai. Being humble is not a crime. If you are humble, you will reach to a point where you never expected yourself to be.
Okay.
And I want to talk to.
Let me say something after the people leave the line.
I have Liberia at heart to please pray for this country, for us to have the right person. And the right person, in my mind, is Ome Boakai. Is the point of who can become the vice president there where we are right now. Right. And I hope God will speak to the people to choose the right person.
All right. Thank you so much.
Let me say something. You know, let me tell you all a story. In 2005, this young man who played football, who had absolutely no experience whatsoever anywhere, work experience outside the football pitch, decided to run for president. He was petitioned, a group of Liberians formed a political party, and they put him forward because of his popularity. He ran for president and he came first in the first round of the vote. He picked up 28% of the votes. He spoiled many good people's chances. He was not qualified, he wasn't educated, he still isn't educated and qualified. This young man was bullied. This young man was told that he could never become president. What did this young man do? They said he wasn't educated. He went to school. We all know he didn't really study. He went to only get the credentials. He got the credentials, he came back. When he came back in 2011, during another election, they said, well, you are still not up to the task. You have no experience. What did the young man do? The young man decided to humble himself to become a running mate to somebody he was more popular than. He humbled himself and became the running mate to Winston Tubman. And together they ran. Well, they didn't win, but they did much better. And so in 2000, and the people said, you still have no experience. So the young man said, fine, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go and run for the Senate. In 2014, he ran for the Senate. And he won the Senate seat in Montserrat County. There in the Senate, he didn't pay attention, didn't learn, didn't do much. And then what happened? He said, well, at least I have held a government position. At least you cannot say now that I have no experience. What did the young man do? In 2017, the young man was able to convince Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to support him. He was able to convince Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to betray her vice president of 12 years to support him. What does that say to you about this young man? He may not be sophisticated, but you know what George Weah did? George Weah humbled himself in 2011. What George Weah did in 2000, and I was there because I was a political aide to Ambassador Winston Tubman. George Weah humbled himself and became running mate to a Winston Tubman, a decent, educated, sophisticated man, yes, but Weah was way more popular than Winston Tubman, and Weah humbled himself. Weah then again humbled himself and became senator. Mr. Cummings, on the other hand, said he will not, he cannot, he does not want to be senator or anything or vice president. He must be president. George Weah is president today because George Weah humbled himself in 2011, because George Weah went back to school, even though he didn't learn the book, but he got the paper. That is the game George Weah played. George Weah was able to convince Ellen to betray her vice president to support him. The moral of the story is, Boakai, sometimes in life you must humble yourself. Sometimes you must step aside for other people. So, Mr. Cummings was manager for Coca-Cola. He headed the West Africa office, the West Africa division. He moved up the ladder. He headed the Africa division. He moved up the ladder, went to Coca-Cola Global. He was senior vice president and administrative officer at Coca-Cola, the third or fourth man in command. Mr. Cummings found it okay to be vice president at a company that does nothing, that does not save lives. As a matter of fact, that makes a product that makes a lot of people sick. I don't drink Coca-Cola anymore. In fact, I hardly ever eat sugar. You see why I look different? My face looks a little slender and all of that. I've cut a lot of things out of my diet. I don't eat sugar. Once in a blue moon. I don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't do any of those things. Coca-Cola does not make any product that saves anybody's life. He was humble to work his way up the ladder at Coca-Cola, at a company that makes sugar water. But he is not humble to be senator in a country of millions of people. He is not humble to be vice president of a country of a country of millions of people. So Coca-Cola is good enough for him to be vice president at. Coca-Cola is good enough for him to be manager at. But Liberia is not good enough for Cummings to be vice president of or senator of. That is the issue. Now, nobody is saying Cummings should be vice president of anybody because that's not going to happen. Black guy would not pick Ellis Cummings. You all just forget it, period. It is never going to happen. And I know what I know. But the point that I'm making is that for the man to say that no other position is good enough for him, that he must be vice president, that he must be president. Coca-Cola is a company whose product makes millions of people sick, whose product makes millions of people very, very sick and makes them prone and susceptible to major diseases. Coca-Cola. He could go down at Coca-Cola and work his way up. But Liberia is not good enough for Cummings to serve in any other capacity but the presidency. Well, there you have it. Now, what do you see there? Arrogance. Barack Obama ran for state senate several times. He lost, and then he eventually won. Then he worked his way up, ran for the United States Senate, which he won. Then he ran for president, which he won. Joe Biden ran for senator at age 29. He was the youngest person to be elected senator. In fact, he wasn't even 30, which is the required age. He had to wait for his birthday to be 30 years old before he was inducted. Today, he's president. He was vice president of Obama, and then he's president today. But Mr. Cummings said it can't be anything else. Ellen Johnson ran for senator in Montserrat County in 1985, and she won. Of course, she declined her seat in protest and solidarity with her party, Jackson Fiado of the Liberia Action Party. George Weah ran for senator, became senator, ran for vice president. Today, he is what? He is president. Charles Gangetela, he was GSA Director General under Samuel Kedo. I can go on and on and on. But when you get up and you say that no other position is good enough for you, that you must be the president, make me the presidente, then you walk away with nothing. And all you did was work for a company that makes sugar water that makes a lot of people sick. That's all you did. Your company is not a pharmaceutical company. They didn't discover the cure for cancer. You haven't made any real impact on the world. You didn't help to change the formula of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola still tastes the same way it's tasted in the last, nearly 200 years. So what is your impact on the world, Chief? Your impact on the world is that you were part of a company, you made millions of dollars on making sugar water that makes a lot of people sick. That is all you've done. And yet somehow you believe that you hold the magic wand to change Liberia. You must be delusional. Delusional grandeur. That is what possesses the man. And so that is why Cummings might never ever become president, because he says, you see, Cummings has what is called a Napoleon complex. Napoleon Bonaparte was a French revolutionary leader who eventually became leader of France. He had a complex, small man with a big ego. They call it Napoleon complex. Go read up on it. Go read up on it. Anyway, we have a guest we're going to take this morning, Brother Joma Samuels. He will be joining us very shortly. But let's take two calls, just two calls, and then of course we'll take Brother Joma Samuels. Napoleon complex, big man. I'm 6'3". I'm a very big man, literally a huge man. You understand? But even my ego is not as big as Cummings' ego. But a small man's ego is bigger than my ego. Let's go ahead and take some calls there, just two calls, and then we'll take Brother Samuels here.
Let's take Martina Konate, Costa Princess, soon to be Senator. Good morning.
So, good morning, Mr. Bwaka. Good morning to my daddy student. Good morning to our many listeners. Martina Konate, Costa Princess, soon to be Senator, daughter on the land this morning. Anytime the title might change by the grace of God. Okay, quite to the point this morning, right? These are like the topic you guys discussing this morning. And I want to say this. And I want to agree to the caller that said if Mr. Kumina go as vice president in Joseph Bwaka, he will never become president. That's the truth. Leader, what people see in you today, admire, if DJ Blue was never going to see that in you and say, but my man, you can come on the airway we're never going to know who Henry Costa is today. People forget to know that somebody has to push you out there. I'm Martina Konate. I am number one example. I was with the CDC. Nobody knew what was in me. But when I choose to support Henry Costa, why in me he make the world to know? You need somebody's shoulder to sit on and reach to the higher peak that you want to reach. That put right where it belongs. If you say you want to be eager about everything, you probably on that game and saying anything here.
That's true.
Sarah Braga, you continue. Somebody listening to the show here and only down. You understand? If you say you don't want to put your ego aside, you just want to excel to that position, you will be damaging yourself. And this topic today is only really get year to year. He will listen keenly. He will humble himself. He will apologize. He will tell the Liberian people, I did do it because of my own selfish greed, but I'm sorry, we can still come together. Never too late. But putting your shoulder on and thinking that Braga can humble yourself, Braga cannot humble himself because number one, Braga get a number. Number two, Braga get an experience. Number three, that the people that Braga, the Liberian people that Braga they want. Liberian people don't want commies. If Liberian people want commies, they all know will humble yourself for the sake of the people. But the people want Joseph Braga. So there, if they still more open the line, who should have the CPP ticket? Let me just say it that way. Thousands of people will call and tell you say they want Braga as president. If they don't want commies, that's the reality, and that's why we support him. We get protecting the interests of the people because the people have been marginalized.
Thank you. Let's take sis UJ as our last caller on this line. Good morning, mommy. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Kamara. Good morning, Mr. Costa. This is UJ from the US. Good morning, my Liberian people. My people, I came to let you know this morning. So we are want to use the road project to run a campaign. Closer to the day, the time of election, he will start doing projects. And you will stand up there and say, oh, let the man continue. I the man will lead the project halfway. I beg you all, like people, when he leave it, Joseph Braga will come and finish it. He will do it better. Yesterday, he and the EU man, the World Bank man were doing, and as I said, they were doing 2 hours, but they were running campaign like Bravo. You were standing on the sidewalk again. Me and I tell my people then, so we are sitting on there again, go for a bill over my mouth body. Nobody will call my freaking phone. Are you seeing the American people are not still that way the money? Nobody will call my phone. Father, I'm sending nobody child to school. Nobody will call me for food. Let me come in August or July, my children. He will start with project. And I propose, let me finish. I take God to beg you. He started running a campaign now. I told you the other day. Mr. Kamara, you can test it. I told you, but pretend you were putting on the street. You saw what happened to that poor activist that they draw, that they drag. But we bringing them to take them to court. We will sue them in the court of law. So I just got to send them money. Yeah, I thank you for the show and your continue to do good work. Now God bless everyone and bless my back. Have a blessing in Jesus. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, mommy. Thank you. Let me just say this. I see my brother Medfi Deco. Let me educate you a little bit because apparently you don't know. He's saying he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine. My brother there in Texas. I saw him when I went to Houston some time ago to visit with my sister. I see him saying that I should not make such claims about Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola is not as does not pose serious health risk to people. But I'm going to educate him. So I just pulled up here an article that was published by CNN. CNN published this article on the 29th of January 2019. And the title of the article is Old Emails Hold New Clues to Coca-Cola and CDC's Controversial Relationship. Now, let me read the article for you, and I'm going to send it to him to read it as well. The article here talks about how the email exchanges between Coca-Cola and the Center for Disease Control, the emails dating back as far back as 2011 and 2016. These emails were obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests. People wrote and requested these emails to be released to them. And the emails show that Coca-Cola has been manipulating and influencing national public health policy in the US because they don't want people to be told exactly how bad their products are. And so they've been influencing US government health policies because they don't want the public to get the real information of how bad their products are. So listen, let me just read a paragraph of the article for my friend who apparently does not know. I'm reading verbatim, word for word. The main concern behind Coca-Cola and CDC partnerships would be that the soda company may try to downplay how some of its sweetened soda products are leading sources of added sugar in the American diet. Frequently sipping sugary beverages is associated with a higher risk of obesity, people get fat, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and tooth decay, among other health concerns. So folks, Coca-Cola was exposed as influencing US government health policy to downplay the catastrophic and potentially deadly health issues that their products cause to people. Not only do they spend millions to tell you that it's good to drink their products, but they spend money to lobby and influence US government health policy makers so that they downplay it. So my brother, I hope you understand. Sugary products, not just Coca-Cola, but sugary products, they are bad for your health. I stopped drinking Coca-Cola. I stopped drinking soda. Even the orange juice, I hardly drink orange juice. I mostly just drink water. And I feel better. I've lost 33 pounds. 33 pounds. Yes, I go to the gym. Yes, I'm tuning up. You know, I'm getting all jacked up. You see my muscles. But it's not just that. I don't eat the same way I used to eat. So I just want to make that point to you. And anybody can do it. So let's take our brother Juma. So I don't drink Coke. I don't even buy it. Yes, that's what I do. I don't buy it, Juma. You know why I don't buy it? Because I don't want to be tempted to drink it. So I don't buy it. Yeah.
It's not healthy at all. It's not healthy
at all. It's not healthy at all. Good morning, my dear brother.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, Mr. Kamara. Anyway, this is my first time here, having followed your show in many years. This is my first time here, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. It's our pleasure to have you. You've been a good friend, and we've seen and followed your commentary on social media, your take on issues in the country, and you stay on the side of good. So you know, we're glad to call you a partner in the fight for a better Liberia. So you were here this morning. You were in Liberia recently. We were there just about the same time, but we didn't get to see. But I think I left you there. You were there for a much longer period.
Yeah.
You were involved with your. You have a nonprofit foundation, the Joman P. Samuels Care Foundation Incorporated, registered in the country. Let's begin to talk about that. In Magibi, as a matter of fact, that's where you work. Your foundation does most of its work. Let's talk about the foundation. What inspired the founding of the foundation, and what is it that the foundation does?
All right, my inspiration came from what I work. I work in a nonprofit here in the US. Currently serving as a case manager with Wood Services Foundation. So I see the kind of job that people do here, trying to care for the people, reach out to people who are mostly challenged. So, and I said, Liberia has a lot of challenges. So the way to do it is to copy the good things here and take them back to Liberia. So on the basis of that, we were able to establish the Juma B. Summer Care Foundation in 2019. So we've been out there, especially in the rural areas in Magibi County, where I hail from. I'm from Firestone Division 10. So I try to take it back to my home and try to move gradually as I have access to more support. I mean, go across the country. Yeah.
So what specific things does the foundation do? What kind of help? What kind of intervention does the foundation make in people's lives in the community?
So we started with orphanages. We started with the Master of Champion Orphanage Home in the Boys Town community. On several occasions, we went there. We identified with the orphans, provided funding, provided some support for them. And we also dealt with the Phoebe Gray Orphanage Home along the Ralphie Highway route. So from the orphanage home, people started reaching out to us from different communities. We identified with the School of the Blind. So our foundation started with people who are really challenged. So then we had a second phase and went into the rural area of Margibi County, which is the Mamba Kaba areas, where people are very challenged when it comes to basic social services. There are nothing there, no job, no business, absolutely nothing. So we engaged in agricultural empowerment. We had a terrible experience when we got in there, and people said, "We want you to help us with rice. Every time buy our rice, help us because we don't have anything." I said, "No, but you guys have land. So the way to do it, we can create an environment where we provide farming implements, and you guys can go ahead and till the soil and be able to empower yourselves." So we were able to empower 18 towns and villages in the Mamakaba area through farming.
That is impressive. It's
Yeah.
impressive not just because of what you did for them, but the fact that you told them, "No, we will not give you handouts. We will empower you so that in a sustainable way."
Yeah.
In a sustainable way. That's very, very good. You're doing all this work, and we're told that a cross section of the folks there, residents and citizens of the district, the community, are considering petitioning you to run for representative of District Number 1, Margibi County. What areas encompass District 1, Margibi County? Help us, for those of us who do not know. What communities?
So District 1 starts from the Arrow 2. The boundary is right there with Mosorado District 6. It runs through all the way to somewhere called Disco Hill, close to Smith Notice, RRA.
I know where that is.
Yeah. So that whole stretch is District 1. Then it jumps over Habel. It starts from a community called Panjai, right after Habel going towards 15 Gate. So it goes as far as 15 Gate from Habel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it goes as far as 15 Gate. Then it cut into the Mama Kaba area in the rural part of Margibi in District 1. So it's considered the largest district in Margibi County. Yeah.
Somebody just said Dolo Town. Is Dolo Town part of it?
No, Dolo Town is in District 2.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Dolo Town, Smith Notice, RRA, Asian Compound, all those areas in District 2. And Marshall the entire Marshall is also in District 1.
Marshall, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So back to the crux of my question, which is that we're hearing that people are looking to petition you. What do you say about that? Have you accepted, or are you considering accepting?
So in 2021, we were in Liberia, took some relief items to the orphanages and also in the rural areas in Margibi County. And our people in there, because we also into women empowerment, we have empowered almost 3,000 women in vocational skill training program across the district. So in the shuffling area, in the shuffling what is called EBK right now, in the transit community, in the Boys Town area, in a place called Domastar, where they have a Plan station, Division 16, those people all over around those places, where they empower about 3,000 women in skill training program. So when I was there in 2021, they already had a petition ceremony that I didn't know about when I got there. And they said, "You are doing a lot. We need you on a bigger platform." So I only went to Jennifer with them to see the project, the agriculture project and all of things. And they had a ceremony set up. I said, "No, we're not into this because of politics. Into this because what we saw in America, and we try to transport the good thing here to America, to Liberia." So, and they kept pushing. So on our recent visit to Liberia in December, we accepted a call because, mind you, if we keep holding back and tomorrow they have, bad leadership, we might also be responsible for not giving in to that call. So we accepted and we are into it. The call came from the people. We did not impose our will on them.
That's very good. That's where it should come from. It should come from the people, because the people are who you're going to be counting on to make it happen. So you are going to be running for representative in District 1, Maggie County. We wish you best of luck, my brother. People such as yourself in the legislature will do so much good there. The current representative is a CDC guy, right? What is his name?
His name is Taparosa Tapowe. Yeah, he's a citizen guy. Yeah, I mean he went. I don't know much about him, but I know that he's a citizen. Yeah.
I don't hear much about him. I don't hear much from him or about him. Yeah, I don't. So you this is a huge task. Running for representative. What are some of the things would you want to? Do you
So
intend
yeah, this District 1 is District 1 is very challenged. And I know the new Morovia is heading towards District 1 because that whole Rafi Highway towards Marshall, the city is moving on that side. But we don't have major, infrastructure, like major investment order to provide jobs for the people. So if we are given the opportunity, like we have been petitioned by the people to serve, we will continue to expand on our vocational skill training program to provide opportunity for them to be able to take care of themselves. We expand our agricultural empowerment program across those towns and villages that don't have any source of income, so that they can use that as income generating capacity when they make their farms and what have you. And we'll also attract foreign. We got some connections here that we're already discussing. We got some good things here on the way that will take over there to be able to create jobs, for our people. But in the meantime, our main focus is skill training program and education empowerment.
That's very good. That's very good. We want to commend you for your current efforts to improve the people's lives and avail to them opportunities and resources to improve the quality of their lives. And we wish you best of luck in your bid to be representative. So when should we begin to see you roll out? I mean, I'm a candidate myself. When do we begin to see you roll out your efforts? I mean, when do we begin to see you? The Joma Samuels for representative campaign. When do we begin to see?
Our campaigners are already there. Our campaigners are the people. So they are all out in the towns and villages. We don't want to do it in a way that people will think that it is stage managed. So it's been done by the people already, Costa. We're only waiting for time. Yeah, we're only waiting for time. We are being approached by a lot of people on different kind of arrangement, but we're not going to give into that because our own team, we don't sell integrity. Even if we go into the race, if it doesn't work, fine, but we do not sell integrity. People reach out to us. We got to stand for something in Liberia to make Liberia better. If you don't stand for something, you go for anything. And we don't want to be on the side of history where at the end of the day, we want to ruin our character because we want something, just something perishable. We're not going to do that. So our power is actually in the people because they have called us. Mind you, Costa, a lot of things have been happening in Margibi County that we have been part of positively. During the start of COVID, we provided COVID prevention materials to almost all the schools across Margibi County, not even District 1, almost all the schools in Margibi County. Nangole Bay, BWR, in Augustine. We really provided 65 bags of parboiled rice to the C.H. Rennie Hospital in Kakata. So we are truly Margibian and we mean well for our people in our county because with the kind of situation obtaining over there right now, we could be in those situations if we're not had the opportunity to be on this side of the world. So that's why we feel empathized by identifying with the problem and the difficulties people go through. So our campaign is already being rolled out because they have been calling us over and over, and it lives in the heart of the people.
You're right. When God blesses you with resources, whether they be skills or money, time, you have to look back and pay it forward and share that with the community. I believe in that sense of community. You may be, they say, in the village. The child may have been brought into this world by his parents or her parents, but you actually become the child of the entire village when you succeed.
Yes.
So you have to look back, and so that's very, very commendable. Brother Samuels, we want to thank you for coming on this morning and to talk about your efforts, your humanitarian efforts, as well as your political venture. And we wish you best of luck. And do reach out anytime you need to come back on to talk about what it is you're doing. The platform is always available to you. So let's hear your parting comments.
Henry, my dear brother, I want to say thank you for all the efforts in Liberia. We have been doing extremely well. We've been following. We've been concerned about the things, and we share a lot of things in common in terms of how we want Liberia to be. Thank you very much. You got our support, and we are also counting on you for your support. You wouldn't even believe it. With the kind of adventure we are engaged in Magui County, people even calling us from Grand Bassa and Bon County. So funding now becoming a problem for us because the skill training program, a lot of people interested in it. And it's very expensive. It's an expensive venture, because we provide all the materials, we pay the teachers, we do everything, and people just go there free, because a lot of people don't even have money to even transport themselves. So we take the program into the community. So we'll be counting on you in the future to help us to continue to expand our venture. Politics aside, our people really need this help. So thank you for everything you do for Liberia. We are in this together, Costa, and thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. Bwaka, thank you also.
Brother Samuels, thank you very much. Thanks for all you do as well. And we're in this fight together. We pray for better days, and so that we all can be in a position to coalesce and collaborate and be able to support each other's efforts in the interest of our people. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye. Well, folks, there you have it. This brings us to an end of today's edition of the show. You have been, we've been here with you this morning, and it's hard time. We call it quits. Bwagai Amara Kamara and myself, Henry Pedro Costa, we're your humble servants. And today is the 16th day of February 2023. I want to say happy birthday to Debbie Belewa, Deb 16. Today's your birthday. I wish you a very happy birthday. I pray that God will elongate your life, or prolong your life, and give you great health and shower blessings upon you. And to everybody who celebrates today, and happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best. And we'll see you all in Liberia very soon. I will be in Liberia very, very soon. When I announce the date, but very, very soon. Just, yeah. We have a lot of work to do. And voter registration, I hope it will happen this time. I hope it will be on schedule, because we need to do these elections and give the Liberian people the opportunity to choose the next leaders in the Senate, in the House, and in the mansion. Yep. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and have yourselves a blessed day. Bye-bye.